to the Reality Receipts podcast, starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley. And as you can see, we have a very special guest today. Love it. We have Kelsey from Sneaky Links on Netflix, which we have been absolutely obsessed with. We've been saying it's a really cool, fresh concept for a dating show. So we'll go way back to the start. And why don't you tell us how you found yourself on Sneaky Links? I saw you posted a video where you didn't really know the concept until you showed up. So how did you find yourself there?
Yeah, so they actually reached out to me, I think it was October of 2024 maybe. And so the interview process was 9 months long. It was a long process. And I honestly thought that I was about to be on Too Hot to Handle because they were being so vague. And they were new dating show, just super vague. And I was like, I really hope this isn't too hot to handle, but what are the odds that I even make it on? So I was like, we'll just do it.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually see the name of the show until I went to get my medical stuff done, and I saw that it said Sneaky Links, but I thought that was a made up title. I was like, there's no way, this is
yeah.
And so I remember they'd flown me out. I was out in the hotel, getting ready, everything. And right before I walked in, genuinely 30 seconds before I walked in, they're like, oh, and by the way, so have they told you the concept yet? And I was like, no. And they're like, so you're gonna walk in, and everybody in there, they have their sneaky link, someone they've been hooking up with, in there with them, and yep, that's all you need to know. And I was like, oh my gosh, am I gonna have a sneaky link in there? I really think not.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what I was walking into, and so that was pretty interesting to be thrown in there like that.
Yeah. Thank God you didn't have one of your sneaky links there. That would have made it even more crazy.
Yes.
And not that I didn't have a sneaky link, but I did see still some familiar people.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone. Oh, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, because as soon as you came in, your eyes were kind of locked on Colt. You decided to pursue him instantly, and obviously it was reciprocated. So I would imagine that played into why you chose to pursue him. But I just want to know what it was about Colt to where you were laser focused on him.
I think that so it's already come out that we had met one time before the show.
We did not see that. This is brand new information.
So we had met one time at a bar in Nashville. Nashville's a lot smaller than people make it seem. And we actually have a lot of mutual friends. So we also had already been following each other on social media and everything. But again, the extent of our relationship was we literally met one time at a bar. So I think when I walked in and I saw him, I was like, oh my God, I was like, is God telling me something here? I was like, what is going on? This is what are the odds of this? I have to explore this. I was like, this is fate, because I was in my delivery.
It's a sign.
But yeah, I was like, this is a sign. And so when our first date, the massage date, went so well, I was like, this is my man. We're leaving here together. I was like, this could be a real life relationship for me. And so I feel I thought out of everyone there, he was the only one that it could be something real. And I don't know, something deep down in me, it was you know that you want this, and you need to see it through. You need to put your energy there. Was that my best decision?
You don't know unless you try, right?
So I think that played a huge part into why I was so honed in on him and did keep giving him chances, unfortunately.
Yeah. Wait, that's can I ask, I'm nosy, so can I ask, when you guys met at the bar the first time, did you guys hook up or kiss or anything? Or you guys didn't even exchange info?
It was literally, both of us were standing at the bar. I can remember what I was wearing and everything. It's weird. I was ordering a drink, he was ordering a drink. We literally made eye contact, kind of had a little flirty conversation, and then I remember my friend pulled me and I was like, hey, just come find me later. And then we never talked in person again. I'd never seen him again. So
he found you later, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That later. It was
yeah.
And so when I just like I said, when I saw him there, I was like, whoa, this is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting because we thought you kind of came in with like no prior previous connections, and it's almost like you guys weren't sneaky links, but there was like you could have been potentially sneaky
Right.
links back home, so there was still like that little bit of a connection for you, which is kind of nice because
And
that explains a lot.
It does.
they actually had us have a conversation because like when I walked in, I think they were a little shook that I was like, oh God, like I see someone I know. And they were like, can y'all have like a little conversation of like how you guys know each other? And that got cut. And so it looks like we are meeting for the first time, but you know, obviously.
Yeah, it looks like heart eyes, like love at first sight, just like completely honing in on each other. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So obviously you had the little date, the massage date, and you shared a kiss. So we know you were under a time constraint, you were under pressure. You kind of had to figure out if like there was a spark there immediately, but obviously that caused a little bit of waves. So do you regret kissing him, or you are happy that you did because you needed to know?
I think for me, let's be honest, I went through 9 months of interviews, all kinds of tests and everything to get to this show. If I see somebody there that I'm interested in and they tell me I have 12 hours left, I'm going to put my best foot forward.
Yeah. Go all in.
It's not also that I went into the date being like, I am going to kiss Colt, like I'm going to make that happen. Everything about the date, it felt so natural and just like easy. And it just felt like right in the moment. Like I was not doing anything out of spite or, you know, to try to like coerce him and seduce him like one way or the other. Like it just felt very natural. And I think we both even say that like on the show, just like how like crazy, like natural the spark and everything that we felt. And so I think in that moment, it just felt right to both of us. And so we did it. Obviously other people's like feelings were involved and I absolutely hate that. And I think that the way that the link Lowdown got edited a little bit, it looks like my emotions may have not been as like genuine and sincere towards Angelique, but even leading up to like that link Lowdown, I had so many conversations with the girls being like, I just don't want it to come off that like I'm trying to just swarm in and like take this man. Like that was just not my intention. Like I came there to like find something real, and like in that moment, like he felt real to me. And so that's why I did that. So I don't regret it, but I do hate that other people's like feelings got hurt in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of that link Lowdown, I was like really surprised at the way that Angelique kind of came at you, and Colt was just like like breezing by, and you know, you kind of checked her and said, excuse me, like why is he not getting this smoke and it's all directed at me when he's the one who owes you the loyalty? Like, can you tell us about that moment and how you felt? I know you said the edit was kind of, you know, shiesty, but can you tell us more about that moment and how you felt?
I think that I was obviously taken back. I think you can read it all over my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold up, like what's going on?
Yeah.
I think I was trying to be understanding of her perspective, because if I was in her shoes, yes, I would have felt some type of way given the circumstances. But at the same time, I mean, y'all saw Colt was dead silent. He said, I'm going to sit here and let them hash this out.
Yeah.
And I was like, sir, can you take some accountability?
Brutal.
Like, what is going on? Like, that part, I think, threw me the most. And thank God Zoe spoke up and, like, said something. Because I felt like I was just, there was nothing in that moment I could say that was going to make everyone around me understand that, like, I did genuinely feel bad about the situation. But, like, it does take two to tango. Like, it wasn't just me. I didn't just go, you know, pounce on this man.
Yeah, we loved that Zoe stuck up for you in that moment, because we thought, like, everybody watching was thinking, wait a minute, why is she coming for her? Because, you know, you've just come in, you've just met her, and now we know you actually did have a little vibe with Colt before, so it all makes sense. So he was the one in the relationship with her. He was the one that owed her the loyalty, not you. So, yeah, we were glad to see that Zoe stood up for you in that moment, because we thought you deserved that. So obviously Colt was very torn between you two after that, and we saw the moment where he made a meal for Angelique, and then he also made a meal for you. So what did you think in that moment? Did that make you feel better, or would you have rather he just never included you in that? And how were the tacos, really?
I think leading up to it, I thought that there was a good chance that I was going to get his meal until I saw Zoe get served 2 meals. Because I thought each boy is giving their meal to one girl. And so like each of us are going to get one. And so when Logan gave his meal to Angelique, I was like, oh, perfect. Like, Colt's going to bring me this meal and this is going to be great. And then when Travis served Zoe a second meal, I was like, oh shit. Like, no, like we're not all getting meals. Like they can do what. So I feel like in that moment, the part that annoyed me the most was, which I tell him this later, is that he kept saying, oh, Angelique, I'm serving you first. Like, here's why I'm serving you first. And I was like, damn, like, just maybe like a second option here. Like, I just didn't like his, like, use of, like, the word first in that situation. But I did still like that he was kind of acknowledging it, I guess. I don't know. It probably wasn't his best move, but, like, it's hard because it's, like, I know that he wanted to kind of show us both that he was interested. And, like, let's be honest, I was there for, like, a day at that point. We really hadn't even got the chance to get to know each other, so he kind of was, you know, in that crossroads a little bit. And as far as how are the tacos, I think my statement, you can't mess up a taco. I would have been to like chef me up some sushi or something, like
a
little harder.
Serving 2 girls a meal doesn't always work out. I don't know if you're a Love Island fan, but you know, Cordell got his breakfast served on him when he tried to do that, so that could have been like it could have went really, really wrong for Colt. But I think I really wish that that we would have seen that you actually did know Colt, because I think that adds like a huge dynamic, because as a viewer, it really looked like, what connection did they have? They rubbed some oil on each other and like made
I know.
out. Like,
it looked like sexual and like physical, and like that we just like lusted after each other. But I'm like, no, like if you just knew the context, like it would make a little more sense, because it just looks like I'm pushing for him so hard, and I'm like, I promise you I'm not that girl. Like I would not entertain something for no reason.
Right. For clarity purposes, how long were Angelique and Colt together before you arrived in the house? Like how much time had they had together?
I think it had been like 4 or 5 days ish.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The fact that he didn't know she was allergic to avocado, that was a little crazy. Like they need to be talking a little more, because there was like some important information left out of their conversation.
Yeah. So were you shocked when, he publicly committed to Angelique, and like,
oh yes.
Yeah, like how did that make, like, tell me about that.
Get out my reaction to that link Lowdown. Let's make that very clear. So what actually happened when I didn't get chosen is Spicy Mari asked me how I felt about it, and I looked at him and I said, it would have just been nice to hear this prior to this conversation, because we literally had a conversation the night before, the same link Lowdown where me and Angelique get into it. Me and Colt had a conversation that night, and he verbatim said to me, he said, there's no way I was letting you leave tonight. If you would have left, I would have left. Like, he was like, there's no way I would have like been able to stay here and like without getting to know you. And so I say that at the link Lowdown, he doesn't choose me, and he goes, I don't really recall saying that. And I look at him and I said, run the fucking tapes.
Yeah.
I was like, no, like you're not about to sit here and deny that right now. Like I was hot. Like I'm actually surprised that they cut that out, because I was like, what was the drama? Like we needed this.
That's drama. Like the lying when you know something's on camera is the most diabolical.
I'm like, did you forget? We are mic'd up 24/7, sir.
Yeah.
I feel like I know where this is going. I feel like I know where this is going. A man that will lie on camera and then try and say he didn't say what he said. Like,
no shame.
He's got no shame.
Yes.
It was that same morning, the morning before the link Lowdown where he made his decision. We were sitting by that pool when I'm in like the brown sparkly bathing suit, and he tells me he's getting clarity. He was like, if I'm being honest, like you are wifey material. Like everything he was feeding me would make me believe I was getting chose that night. And so it was just the fact that I was like so blindsided that I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, where's the respect?
He did not need to do that. He could have been way more open with you and say, like, I'm leaning more towards her. It seemed like he just wanted you both to, like, be obsessed with him, and so he could just take his time and make his decision.
He's obsessed with him. Colt is obsessed with Colt. I think we saw that very clearly on the show. Like, what made you decide to still give him a chance after after that, like after he didn't choose you, and then after playing in your face, and after, lying.
Yeah. I think again it just plays back to I am spiritual, and I just felt that we were there for a reason. Like I just thought that like there's no way that we were put in this situation out of everybody in the whole world for me to not give it a chance. And I think, as you can see, he's good with his words when it's just a one-on-one conversation. And I unfortunately believed what he was saying to me because, again, you're very emotional when you're in that reality TV state of not having your phone, not having anybody there that knows you, that you can talk to. And it's almost like you're trauma bonded with these people because they're the only ones that you can like confide in. And so I think in the moment, I trusted him, and it is what it is. Like I can't really defend myself in that situation. Looking back, I obviously should have ran, but I didn't. And
it's okay, girl. We've all been there. We've all been there.
And when you go on these shows, I feel like you usually end up with people from all over the country, even from different countries. So to be from the same city, I feel like the whole Nashville connection probably like added to that for you. Like, he's in my city. This will be very easy to make work in the real world, which was what you were being pushed to think about the whole time. So we get why that would like give him the extra edge and maybe get a little more chances than he should have. So, but switching gears a little, you did have a little date with Justin. So obviously that didn't go anywhere. Is there anything like we didn't see with that date, or were you feeling him at all, or just no romantic vibes there?
I think Justin's great. I think I said in the show he has a very like just cool, calm, like collected confidence about him that it was definitely intriguing to me. But I think that at that point I was still again just so honed in on Colt, and I get like very like one track minded when I am like vibing with somebody that I just my like heart and head didn't fully let me like open up to Justin in that kind of way. And so it kind of just stayed at that friendship level, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We've all been there too.
Yes. So true.
Want it to like, maybe like have a little spark or something, but it's like I was so just in a different place at that point. I just like there was no way it was gonna happen.
Yeah. How surprised were you to see Colt go on a date with Lulu? Like after it's like you've already got a love triangle. You're trying to create a love square. Like, bruh, like what are you doing?
No, yeah, I was I mean, you see whenever we have the little conversation where the lights are like kind of pink at night, and I look at him like, why the fuck did you go on that date? And he's like, well, you went on a date too. And I'm like, I'm single. Like, you're supposed to be committed to Angelique right now. So like, it's not the same. Like, we are not the same. Yeah, I was so taken back. I was like, dude, you want your cake, your ice cream, your brownies, and eat all of it. Like like, what are you doing here? It was just a lot. I'm like, you already have enough to juggle. Like, why are we adding another in the mix?
Yeah. Was that like a red flag to you? Like, did you see that as a red flag?
It should have been. Some part of me was just like, no, he's still going to choose me in the end. Like,
right. We were so excited to see that you have 6 Taurus placements. Are you like Taurus sun sign? Is that your zodiac?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so is Ricky. Ricky's a Taurus. I'm a Capricorn. I feel like Capricorns and Tauruses are always like drawn to each other because we're earth signs. So we were like, this all makes sense, because I feel like, we could see your earth signs are like known for being very like grounded and balanced. And we could see like throughout the process where you were like, what am I even doing right now? Like, what is happening? Like, you knew that you shouldn't be falling for him, and you saw all the red flags, but your heart was kind of like battling with your head. So we thought that was, we could recognize that in you because we've seen it in ourselves. So
I definitely was trying to like be grounded and like handle as many of the situations with grace as possible, but it's hard in there.
Yes.
You're like, my mind is boggled in there. It's not even like the real world, really.
Like, what's going on, actually?
Yeah. Okay. So we have to talk about that infamous moment where Cole, you asked him if he slept with Angelique. And this man says some stuff happened and some stuff didn't.
Yeah.
Like, when he actually,
what?
I would think the same thing. Like, the only thing that could have not happened is the actual act. So maybe other stuff happened. Finding out that he actually did sleep with Angelique, like, how did that make you feel? Like, how did that?
First off, also, I want to clarify that nighttime scene is so clipped because those conversations did not happen the same night. I think you can even see that my hair is in a ponytail one. Those did not happen on the same night because it looks like I asked him that question and he's like, nope. And I'm like, all right, cool, then we can. Like, that's not what happened. So I just wanted to clarify that. But to go back to his response, I think that is the most immature,
diabolical
response ever. Like, I think when the next morning I'm talking to Zoe and Brandon, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, am I being delusional? I'm like, no, like, he said some things didn't happen. What the hell else couldn't have happened? Like, what, y'all are dressing up in foreplay or something? Like, I don't know. Like, what are we alluding to here? And so I think that when he comes out and tells me that they did, I'm taken back because I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. I just think it was a little shady, a little sneaky, and it was definitely misleading. So I did not.
Yes.
At all.
No. I feel like
it was 100% misleading. He's worded it that way very intentionally to leave the thought that, like, okay, they didn't go all the way.
Right.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
When I'm like vulnerable with somebody, like, that actually has meaning to me. I know that some people view that like differently, but for me, and I think even with conversation with him, I made that pretty clear. And so the fact that he was like that deceivable about it was just like, dude, like,
yeah.
really?
We did see your friend Tabitha obviously came to meet Colt. So what did she say anything that we didn't see on camera? Like, what was her feel of him? Was she like run, or was she open to him?
She was open to him. But I think that it was because she saw how into it I was. I think if this was like the real world and she would have came into that same situation, she would have been like, girl, be fucking for real. Like, it's so unlike me to get like that invested in somebody. And so I think she was just surprised by how invested I was, that she was like, okay, like, at this point you've already invested so much time, like, what do you have to lose? Like, you might as well just kind of like see it through. So I think that's kind of where her advice came from. But if it was the real world, she would have been like, Kelsey, this is unlike you. Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
He can trick you though. He can trick you though, because he comes up very charming.
I was very nervous that he was gonna get portrayed as like the saint of the show, of like the hero guy who changed and everything. Like, I kind of had a few moments after filming where I was like spiraling and being like, he is gonna come off as like a perfect saint and everybody's gonna be obsessed with him. Like, when that was just not the case, like, at all.
No.
Obviously, we can say that that's not what happened.
Yes.
But he is charming and he is good with his words. And yes, he's an attractive man, and I think that plays a role on how females like view like men on these shows. But you know, this is just my opinion.
No, we could see through him throughout. So it's harder for you because you have feelings for him and you're in there living it. Whereas like we're just making our opinions from watching it. So it's a little easier to see like, oh, something is a little strange about this guy. Something's not right here. Yes.
A little off with all of the guys, if I'm being quite like honest. Like, Brandon was like really off too. Like, what is wrong with you, bro? Like, you are on television.
I think that if another guy would have came in that like was my type and was a little more like sane, I wouldn't have been so honed in on Cole. But it was like, with the options, he was the only one that I was like kind of like, okay, maybe. And so that's another reason why I just kind of played into it, because I'm like, well, damn, like, I don't got much to work with.
You don't have much to work with. Just pick the lesser of two evils. Pick the hottest. Pick the hottest devil.
I'm gonna go in for the challenge at this point. Like,
pick the hottest devil and just see it through. So watching it back, like, how did you feel about his mom shading your outfit? Like, I thought your dress was very modest. You had like, it was like high
so cute.
Line.
Yeah, I was like, what did you want me in? Like a pantsuit? Like, I mean, also, I think she had to have seen that she was coming on a show called Sneaky Links. Like, what did she expect us to be wearing? But again, I think that, I mean, I work in fashion, and so I think that I typically dress pretty like classy and like tasteful. And so I was very taken back by that. I'm like, also,
Yeah.
let's just mention your son, ma'am, has had his shirt half unbuttoned in every single episode.
Yeah. Yeah, or off pretty much. So yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Modesty. I'm like, no, like, yeah, I was taken back by that and a little offended, honestly.
Yeah. We thought you looked beautiful, so we thought,
Yeah.
it was kind of silly, but
I will
so
say is coming to my rescue with that one. They're not letting her get
oh
away with it.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
So obviously, we saw at the end, you both decided to leave together, and he dropped the L bomb as you were leaving. So were you totally shocked? Did you think that was like a ploy for him to look good, or did you believe it? Do you think he was being honest in that moment?
I think you can see it all over my face that I was like, come
Yeah.
again? Like, what?
Like, where is this?
It,
Yeah.
it was kind of out of the blue. Like granted, we were in a good place like with each other at that point, but it had only been like 5 days that we had been like, okay, it's just us now. Like
Yeah.
it had not been that long, and yes, emotions are heightened in there, but like not that heightened. So like where you're saying the L bomb, and
Yeah.
so when he said that, I was definitely taken back. Thank God I stood on business and didn't say those words back, because that just would have been fucking embarrassing at this point. Literally,
Yes.
I think that he's not verbatim said, but basically alluded to. He just said that for good TV. He actually like kind of got a little annoyed with me that I didn't say it back, and I was
Yeah.
like, well, I literally said on the show that I said it to his mom and to him. I would never say the word love unless I genuinely meant it, because I think that that is just diabolical. Like,
Yeah.
that's so manipulative to say that, especially like in that kind of like situation and scenario.
Yeah.
And I think that that's why I was like so like hurt by our situation. I don't care that we aren't together. I care that he was so shady about the storyline, because we could have had the same storyline without him saying "I love you." If we're being honest,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
It was just a bit much.
Right. Well,
Yes.
you just answered my next question, because the burning question I think everybody wanted to know is like, we seen you guys ride off into the sunset together, and if you guys were still together.
I've said it once and I'm saying it again. Some people will say "I love you" for 5 minutes of fame, and some people won't. So
So
you and Colt are not
we
together.
We are not together.
Okay. Well, you got to tell us what happened, girl. Like, what happened? What happened?
yeah, give us the tea.
Give us
A
a tea.
whole lot of fucking nothing, if I'm being honest.
Ooh.
So basically what happened was we had our whole moment. We leave the motel. They separated us as soon as that last little clip got filmed. And me, him, and Brandon rode in a van together to go to the hotels that we were staying in before they flew us home. And they separate you there too. So like everybody's in their own hotel room. And so we get there. When we get out of the van, I like tell Brandon bye. I like give Colt a hug bye. And I'm like, like kind of sad that like we're getting separated already, because I'm like, oh, we just had this great moment. We're leaving together. We're already getting separated. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
And some of us actually stayed in Arizona a couple extra nights to just kind of hang out together and whatnot, and Colt did not. And literally the next day, Brandon informed me that as soon as I walked away to go into my hotel room, he like looked at Brandon and he goes, well, that's going to be a hard conversation.
No.
Like immediately.
So there was no dating afterwards at all. It was like he was
No,
out
he-
immediately.
We did not speak while we were in the hotel. We got our phones back, and while we stayed in Arizona for a couple days, no conversation then. We got home. It had been, I think, about a week almost. Still nothing from him. And so I finally texted him and I said, hey, look, like, honestly, I think that you, at least out of respect of like the situation, like owe me a conversation. Like, how are you going to pop off and say something that crazy and then just go completely dead silent? Like, that's crazy to me. Like,
Yeah.
I know, like I'm not crazy. Like, that's actually crazy. Like,
Yes.
You are actually crazy, sir.
right.
Yes.
And he was like, when I got home, like I had to deal with like my family and my coworkers, and like there was just a lot going on, like blah blah. And I'm like, oh, I get it. Like, we all went through the same thing. Like, of course, I wanted to see my family, my coworkers, you know,
Yeah.
everybody. But I'm like, what do you, like, you can't go from, like, one extreme to the next. And
Yeah.
so at that point, I was like, okay, yeah, I was lied to the whole time. I kind of had just, like a little crash out because I felt like I wasted my experience on
Yeah.
for no reason. And so for a while, I was, like, mad at myself. I'm like, why did I waste this amazing opportunity on one human for absolutely nothing? But again, I try to not dwell on it because it's like, you can't change anything.
Yeah.
I know that I was like genuine and honest the whole time, and like that's all I can
Yeah.
go off right now. So
And for him to go as far as to drop the L bomb, like that was a lot if he knew like he wasn't actually wanting to pursue something outside of Sneaky Links. So, and obviously you live in the same city. So have you had any like awkward run-ins after that or no?
all the fucking time. Literally, some of my friends have been like, does this man have a tracker on you? Because why are we running into him so much? Like, no, it's weird. Like, so I think when we first got back, we had a couple like flirty run-ins. And then the more stuff I started finding out, and just the more like things turned.
You have our attention.
More yelly, more look the other way, I don't fuck with it type vibe. So actually the last guy that like I went on a date with, I didn't realize that he was mutuals with Colt too. And so we like go to a bar after our date and we show up and Colt is there. And we basically just get, like, I just give him like the side eye, like I don't even have like a conversation with him. And I remember like one of the guys who was like mutuals with the guy I was on a date with and Colt, I don't think he realized the situation yet because our show hadn't come out.
Yeah.
And he like comes up to me and like the guy I went on a date with, and he's like, "Y'all, Colt is over there tripping." And I was just like, "Oh, really? That's crazy." Like I don't know why he would be tripping.
Like who knows?
Like we did not speak. Like it's like if I see him, I'm like I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, how are you?" You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
beef. So it's beef.
It's not
Yeah.
beef. It's just like we're not friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're definitely not cool like you tried to portray it.
Yeah, we're not
Yes.
as good and dandy as some of these interviews may say.
Yeah, it's so funny that he tries to say that, knowing that, like, obviously you have your side and you know the truth, and you'll say your side, and it's gonna prove him wrong. So,
He's like, there's no way you weren't acting too. And I'm like, you're not gonna sit here and gaslight me to make yourself feel better about what you did. You
yeah,
know? Like, that's what we're not gonna do. So
Don't convince me that I was acting because you were acting. Like, could you
Yeah.
have told me that you were acting so that I knew you were acting so that I could start acting?
Also, oh my god, this brings back so many memories when I talk about it. At the very last scene, when I'm in like the pink dress, it's like our very last little night where we like say goodbye and then like are making our decision the next day. I remember I looked at him and I was like, something happened where I said like, oh well, some of us are here for more than just like to be an influencer. And he like looked at me and he was like, are you? And I looked and I said, that's a dumb question.
yeah,
It should have been like ding-a-ling-a-ling, red fucking flag. But I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's, oh.
I'm like, oh my god, there's so many telling signs that I just like,
yeah. It's hard when you are in your feelings and you just don't see it the way that other people looking from the outside can see. But when you're in it, it's just so hard to see those things. So
Yeah.
yeah.
we get it.
It's okay, girl. It's a
Yeah.
player's fuck-up. It's okay. We all fuck up. It's okay. We all have that one we regret and we just don't count them. Except
Yeah.
only yours is
It's a
on.
lot.
In the real world, it doesn't count.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except like millions of people saw it on Netflix. Other than that, nobody
Besides
knows.
that, yeah.
Nobody has to know. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're
So
not
have you-
going to ask you what you found out, but he did an article with Swoon saying like that the reason you guys broke up is because it was just so hard to adjust to like normal life.
I was insecure, is what I read.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Basically,
Right.
like there was just so much going on. It was hard to adjust, and that you guys run into each other, and that you guys are on good terms.
Of course he says that. Of course he thinks we're on good terms because he doesn't think anybody's ever mad at him or agitated with things that he did because he doesn't do anything wrong.
So he's delusional.
Not my words, but
Mine,
Yes.
mine and Ashley's words.
We'll take the blame for that.
there's definitely been talk that he was like seeing someone right leading up to, as in going to the airport, and also as soon as he got home talking to that same person. So I don't know, you know, what the details of it are, but he said some shady things, and even I think you could see throughout the show just kind of flirting with like Chloe a little bit, you know. Just, I think that he had a lot of situationships before and after the show that impacted the whole situation.
Yes. I feel like this does line up with what we saw on the show a little bit. Like, you know, he was all over the place. He liked Angelique, he liked you, then he went on a date with Lulu. Like, you know, he gave off the perception he was trying to change those ways, but it sounds like in real life he was not changing those ways at all. So
No. Oh.
no.
I like hold my words back sometimes from like saying things, so I'm like, I'm gonna regret saying things.
Don't hold
No.
it back, girl. This is a safe space.
Let it all out.
One situation with friends that really threw me. There was like one time when we were at one of our friends' events, and we had like a little like section upstairs with like all of our close friends, and I remember he like came up there because we're like, he's mutuals with the person too, I guess, and he like came up there with like some of his friends, and there's a bathroom up there, and I just remember seeing him go in there with like two girls, and I was like,
Oh no.
in our section, like that's crazy.
Yes.
Diabolical. This man's got no means to an end. Like what he's okay. I'm just gonna go on the record and say, because I don't give a fuck. He's not even that hot, okay? Like he's not even that hot. Like I was very confused why everybody was like pinpointing him. I was like, am I missing something? And are those your teeth? No. Sorry.
The turkey teeth.
Sorry. I just had to get that out.
But I think that he had like a previous relationship early in his 20s that impacted him. Once he got out of that, he
was married, right? I just read that somewhere. I don't remember if he said it on the show, but he was married before. So
Yeah.
not that that's an excuse at all, but
I don't want to get that deep into things, but I believe so, yes. And so I think that probably when he got out of that situation, he kind of went through his like, oh, well, this is my single like bachelor phase. He's still in it somehow.
yeah.
He's still in it.
At his ripe age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's in his early 30s, right? He's
31.
Oh.
Let's just keep in mind, I was 24 on the show, and he was 31.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, he should probably work on maturing at some point soon. You know, he's had that fun period, so
Yeah.
maybe watching this back will help him learn something, but it doesn't sound like it.
He verbatim says he has no regrets, and he doesn't think he did anything that bad, so.
Well,
I
guess
think the
not,
audience
then.
sees it a different way. Like I'm sure. Like first of all, I just finished watching last night, so I haven't even made any recaps on it. But I'm like, I'm literally gonna drag him to the pits. Like, I would assume that he's getting dragged online. Like I would assume that he's getting his ass handed
But,
to
like,
him.
he likes it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, there's
Like,
that.
again, I think it's very obvious what he came into this experience for, and I hope he gets it. I hope that he gets those 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's true. Some people are like, being talked about is the most important, and if it's good, if it's bad, they know that it's still being talked about, right? So not everyone is like concerned with how they look, I guess. So he must be just one of those people. So, I mean, was there anything on the show that we didn't see that was like relevant, or you felt like it showed everything? I mean, you already told us about
I will say that they made us do like one-on-one relationship sessions with Spicy Mari and like couple relationship sessions with Spicy Mari that literally just completely got clipped out. And that's like when you kind of like got a lot of like our emotional side of like our relationships and things. And so it was kind of surprising to me that they cut those out. And I also think that it kind of would have added to like our storyline and made it make a little more sense as to why we were kind of so honed in at the end, because we actually were a lot more like emotional and connected than it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your relationship with Angelique? Are the two of you guys friends? Have you spoken?
Yeah, we
Okay.
actually
Oh, good.
like almost every day here recently. Like we've actually become really good friends. We are very much on the same page of everything. I think at this point we're both just kind of like over the lies that we keep saying about ourselves when, like, let's be honest, we did nothing to him for him to be explaining things in the way that he is. And I don't know, we're just over it. So,
Yeah, because he even in that article alluded to the fact that him and Angelique are still in contact. They're still flirty. He even went as far as to say, what was his language? Like he said, like nothing serious right now or something. Like he didn't say, oh, we're just friends or like it's nothing. He alluded to the fact that there's still something going on between the two of them.
That there was like flirty messages or like whatever. And Angelique has literally, she actually called him out in the group message yesterday. She said this like long thing of like, I don't fuck with you. It was so funny because Manny was like, can we just all be friends? And Justin was like, let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
Let's hear what he has to say. Let's hear what he has to say.
Let's get the tea.
I think that, we've seen what we needed to see to know that we were not the problem, in fact. And I'm glad that, through it all, we've been able to get like a good friendship out of it,
Yeah, that's so nice to hear that you guys are on good terms and that you didn't let all of Colt's silliness get between you. So that I like a little bit of a happy ending at the end of it all, because I feel like you and Angelique will have way more fun together than you ever would have had with Colt. So
even towards the end of the show, there wasn't that animosity that it seemed like. They actually cut like so many of like me and Angelique's conversations, and I don't know like if you can see it, but like a lot of the scenes we're like actually standing like right next to each other or like sitting right next to each other, and like that was like by choice. So we weren't as like towards each other as they're like making it seem. So the internet loves to pin us against each other right now, but I'm trying to be like, no, like it's not like that.
We're friends.
yeah, like we're good.
Get him.
So true.
Yeah, he's
He's
awful. He's awful. I cannot believe that. Like, my thing is, like, if you're going to come in, you're going to fake or whatever, fake emotions or whatever, you don't sleep with people. And I'm trying to, like, wrap my head around the fact that you had somebody, allegedly, coming in, and then she's going to see you sleep with two girls, and then you're back together, allegedly, after the fact. Like, don't worry, we're going to find her.
But, I think I already know who it is, but I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
Send us an anonymous.
I'm sure somebody will.
That's insane. Anyway, well, enough about him. What's next for you, Kelsey? What do you have going on? Let the people know where they can find you. Are we going to see you on any more dating shows? We would love to, by the way. But tell us what's next for you.
I would totally do another show. I'm not sure, what exactly the future is going to be holding for me in that realm, but if the opportunity came my way, I don't foresee myself turning it down. Okay. I've also kind of been chatting to a few, like, cute little other Netflix boys, possibly.
Wait, when I followed you, I noticed you followed our friend Tony. So I don't know if you've been chatting, but you are his type. So.
Well, I think if he saw Colt, he'd probably think that he was my type as well.
Yeah.
But yes, I've been looking just a little bit, just
keeping options open.
What the options are, I don't know. But yes, very single, I'm excited for the future. I think that a lot of opportunities are going to come about, and I'm just excited to, take everything that I've learned from my first reality dating show experience and apply it to the future. Maybe go in a little bit differently next time.
Yes.
But no regrets, and I'm so glad that I had this experience. It's been amazing, to say the least.
Yeah, we feel like you deserve a do-over and maybe no more Nashville boys on the show.
Like one of our producers and I said, hey, if there's another season of Perfect Match, I was like, please let me have like a redo, because I was like, I gave too much time to a man that didn't deserve it.
Yes.
Not deserve it.
You deserve another shot for sure.
Absolutely. Perfect Match. Get her on season 4. Come on. Like,
yes.
He's like Colt like is like a Harry Jousey like wannabe. Like he's like
yeah.
he's and it's like, bruh.
No.
No. So, are you on social media? Are you on TikTok, Instagram?
Yep, TikTok and Instagram. I think Kelsey.Tomlin on Instagram. I think my TikTok's also just Kelsey.Tomlin.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. We'll tag you in all of our clips that we share. And yeah, anything else that you want to share with everyone?
I don't think so. I think we got into it a little bit.
We did.
A little bit of the tea.
Yes.
We did.
Spill a little bit of tea, but not too much. Keeping it classy.
We love it.
You know, not doing too much.
You were very giving, and we appreciate it. Our audience appreciates it. It just makes, the show's been amazing, and this gives our audience a little more insight into what really happened and what you're all about. So thank you for being here today. We really loved our chat with you. It was great.
Yes, thank you for having me. You guys are awesome.
Yes.
Yay. We will see you next time, guys. Bye,
Okay,
guys.
bye, guys.